So I have this directory that has regular markdown files in it. Here I'm just editing them through Obsidian, and I want to use opbox to share these files. So first I can check the status. I can see there isn't an existing workspace already in the directory, so I can initialize a new one. This basically uploads the current state of all these documents, gives me a command that I can share with others to allow them to clone this workspace. And then I also need to start the daemon. So at this point here, I am on a different computer. You can imagine that someone just gave me that clone command, and I want to bring it into a local directory. First, I have to create that directory, and then I can run the clone. And this will basically just pull down that initial state of the directory, and then I'll start the daemon. So at this point, the two systems should be syncing. opbox is doing file system level sync, so I can use whatever editor I want. Here on the second computer, I'm just editing my files using Z. You can see we have the same file open across two different computers. When I make changes on this first computer, we can see them appear on the second. Obsidian's default behavior is to autosave every 1 or 2 seconds. Z, on the other hand, I've configured to autosave every 100 milliseconds, so it's a lot snappier. And basically what's happening is on every save, opbox is seeing the change on disk, it's solving for a diff, and then it's adding it to a durable shared log, which is consumed by both of the daemons. opbox also comes with this spy command, which is useful because it lets you look at the actual CRDT operations as they arrive at a daemon. So here you can see a bit of the text diffs as I'm typing on the second computer, and see basically what they translate into in terms of operations that are actually being added to this shared log. Because all the writes are happening just to normal files on disk, this is entirely local first by design. So if one of the daemons disconnects, which is something that we can simulate just by turning the Wi-Fi off momentarily. So I've disconnected it on the second computer. I can continue making edits to my local copy of this file. And then meanwhile, back on the first computer, maybe the file is also being changed. This daemon is still online, so it's able to append still to the shared log. And this is kind of an interesting situation. Our two text files have diverged, but because opbox is essentially maintaining CRDT data structures corresponding to this file, when we turn the Wi-Fi back on and the second computer can contribute its local changes and receive remote ones, we actually get a pretty coherent merge. And there, it just happened. So essentially changes from both branches of the file have been automatically merged in a way that preserves their edit histories. So yeah, thanks for watching.